What are some of the biggest challenges you face as a development manager in the blockchain industry? And I think more specifically, let's be more specific in the Ergo ecosystem, I would say.
Sure. I would say one thing that has shifted a lot is there's a lot of projects that, basically are brought to market with a lot of treasury funding that kind of allows them to create a certain adoption without much in the back end, right? So there's a ton of projects, built on top of a variety of blockchains where they have a token, they have a great marketing campaign, they have a ton of treasury and not much in terms of actual deliverables. And that tends to create a fee market in a lot of the infrastructure in the industry. You could look at exchanges, you can look at the media. A lot of it breaks down to just who's willing to pay the most, right? And being that Ergo is kind of a organically driven ecosystem, it creates a certain disincentive for us in terms of working with some of the external partners, because the priority is always who's going to cut that short-term check. And, it's unfortunate. I think that as an industry, we have had a tendency to go through these, let's call it hype cycles, where there's a lot of people that are chasing returns on promises, right? We'll ship, soon, TM. And, even though we have a lot of technical depth, we have a pretty strong ecosystem and tech stack, most of the industry doesn't care. What's popular is flashy and sexy, but that always has a tendency to have a short-term arc, right? So even though it is a short-term disadvantage, I think that long-term it does trend in our favor as people get disillusioned, because there's a lot of empty promises that are made in this industry that never quite come to fruition. So in the short term, I would call it a negative. In the long term, a lot of people come across Ergo and they say, look at the variety of the tool set that they're capable of. And, this is kind of amazing that you have all of these different products, projects, and tools that are live versus there's a lot of things that are bigger than us that just run on hype and promises.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely how I feel as well. And really, I've seen a lot of kind of correlations made between or parallels maybe between what's happening in crypto right now and with blockchain right now to the .com boom. Now, while some aspects are not like the .com boom, because that was a fundamental shift in just kind of in I guess in ground tech, right? So infrastructure tech, where crypto is more and blockchain is more sector specific, I would say, but it doesn't discount its paradigm shifting significance. But just the internet itself was just a huge leap. It was like the Industrial Revolution. Basically, that's what it felt like. It was the information revolution. But as far as business goes, there are a lot of similarities, and really, what Joe just touched on, and this is what I agree on, Joe, is in the short term, there's going to be a lot of hype. There's going to be projects that will take top dollar to go to whatever chain, to do whatever they want on there. And actually, I commented on that. Personally, I think that's just grifting. I think that making your business decision solely on who cuts you the biggest check, if you're going to build in their technology, basically these guys are cutting me the biggest checks, I'm going to build in their technology. That's not a sustainable business model. That is doomed to fail. Because if you're solving a problem then your solution should be based on these architectural choices, on these ecosystem choices, on all of these things that really, who gives Slipsy the fattest envelope under the table just does not accomplish. So yeah, being in the Ergo ecosystem and seeing, whatever, like Polygon or whatever, dump money into everybody's lap. Oh, here you go. Here's 5 mil. Here's a mil. Here's a half a mil. Do this, do that, do that. Look, if this is sustainable for them because they got more money than Ergo, and this is not just Polygon. I just brought that as an example. Other chains do that all the time. It's sustainable while your pot is big, right? But it's not sustainable in the long term if your technological stack is not up to spec. If you cannot sustain this growth, it's the same thing as we saw with TVL, where you had all these artificially inflated TVL numbers that are basically just pay to play TVL, which meant nothing. It was complete BS. And in the end, what does it do? I mean, it doesn't really do much for prices or anything, or for value of the actual product, the actual blockchain. I mean, it just dumps with everything else. So short term, it is kind of irritating to see that kind of stuff, because you think, come on, guys, you're not going to be able to do what you're trying to do on that chain. You know it. They're not decentralized enough. They don't have enough tooling. They don't have their security. You're just begging for something to get screwed up, But yeah, they'll still go there. They'll still do stuff there. They'll still fail. But in the end, it's all about building up your thrust as an ecosystem, because with all the stuff falling, crashing down around you, you still remain standing. Well, sooner or later, people are going to say, "Hey, these guys are still here. They've been building for years. Their stuff hasn't been hacked. Their stuff hasn't been compromised. They're not. They don't have any tooling debt." And yeah, in the long term, if you just keep doing what you're doing, if Ergo keeps doing what it's doing, it will prevail. It's stick to itness. It's all about just keeping on your path, and about building, and about consistency, and in consistency and quality and delivery, and that's what Ergo is all about. And this is why I strongly believe that in the end, Ergo will prevail. What are your thoughts on that, Alex?
Yeah. So I think that's it's already shown that many promising blockchain projects failed, right? Ergo is they're doing pretty much okay, right? So ecosystem is been developing, and miners are here, and things are going according to algorithms, right, behind them. Like emission and so on. And I think, this will continue. So some buzzing projects will come and go. And, Ergo, protocols and ecosystem will just continue to work, right, and continue to expand.